Great segue, Daniel. I was just about to bring this up.
There you go.
It was like you were in my head, Daniel. Get out of my head.
Again.
This is funny because not the accusations, obviously. But the only way for the Browns to possibly be able to get out of Deshaun Watson's contract, right? And this was what we talked about when they signed him, is if a new allegation.
It's a good question, Game.
Surfaced.
Sure. It's civil, not criminal, right? So, like, that's why he's not going on the exempt list.
Yeah, correct. So another woman is suing Deshaun Watson, this time for its sexual assault. And the first 26 were, it was sexual assault to sexual misconduct. There's a broad range there. So again, this is what, 27? There was like over 30, I think. And then like 4 or 5 of them were like thrown out, couldn't be part of the lawsuit, whatever. So this is 27.
Whoever's
the NFL special counsel for investigations, Lisa Friel, who led the investigation the first time that resulted in Watson's 11-game suspension, is heading up this one as well. And so now we just wait. We wait. It's another thing after he played terrible.
Yeah.
And I think it was, pardon my take, said it, Deshaun Watson is actually a worse quarterback than he is a human. The bar was already low as a human. It's like
Barstool. They were debating that. I think someone was saying in the chat of like worse human or worse football player.
It's just like what I wanted to say is Kevin Stefanski wins Coach of the Year last year.
Steven Stefanski.
Sorry, Steven. Now I don't even know which his real name is anymore.
Can I tell you, over the summer, I had a moment where someone was like, "Oh, which name did they say?" And I was like, "Oh, Kevin." No, Steven. I literally was like, I don't know. Now I'm gonna blur that line so hard.
And the problem is, there's Kevin O'Connell too. And like, am I confusing Kevin Stefanski with Kevin O'Connell? And it is Steven Stefanski. Why does he get a pass in all this? Right? Like, right now, everybody's like, okay, the Deshaun Watson trade is the worst trade ever. Finally, now that Russell Wilson's gone and we forgot about him.
I mean, it wasn't really between Wilson, though. It was like the Herschel Walker.
No, a lot, like for the last 2 years, like Russell Wilson, worst trade ever. I'm like, it wasn't even the worst trade this offseason, guys. You know how many times I had to say that? But like the Browns taking a chance on this guy, this allegedly terrible person over and over and over again. Like, if this is a conspiracy, it is the most well-executed conspiracy ever, because it just seems like he is garbage. And the Browns gave him $230 million guaranteed, and now they got to live with it. I feel no sympathy for the Browns front office, their GM, or Stefanski for signing off on it. Like, in my opinion, fuck them both.
Ownership.
Like, I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of Kevin getting a pass. He okayed that. And if he didn't, if he was like, I don't want this guy, and he comes out later and says that, I will apologize to Kevin.
Well, ownership has to take some, like,
ownership, GM, it's like all three of them.
But it's a mix of, if it was one or the other, right? Like, let's look at the Russell Wilson aspect, right? They gave up a good amount of draft picks. Sure. They gave him a big old contract, right? It wasn't fully guaranteed. This year is really not good. Yeah. The Browns could cut him tomorrow, and they're paying all that money, right?
Yeah.
For like the next 2 years after this. So that's one.
Their dead cap gets insane if they cut him.
Yeah.
It's like over 100 in dead cap for a year.
The issue is, one, they're paying him a crap ton of money. And then two, the draft capital that they spent, it's 3 first-round picks, man. And considering how good that team is, like, the defense is good, right? Yeah. O-line is good. When Nick Chubb is back there, the run game is good. They have enough weapons in the receiving game, and you have such a performance. And again, kudos to the Cowboys. They have a good defense, but they weren't thrown past the line of scrimmage. Like, you are, the amount of money, take even just the PR nightmare away from it, the amount of money, resources, and capital that you have wasted on bringing in a mediocre quarterback, and that is being kind right now. Yeah. That, from just a football operations standpoint, is horrendous. Not even talking about the absolute PR nightmare that it has been bringing in Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, the dozens and dozens of red flags.
Yeah. They were wearing rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
They just looked like flags.
Yeah. And go read through the accusations on this new one.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Right?
They can't excuse it. And the fact that they are letting this guy play is ridiculous.
Again, it's a look of, okay, the Browns were willing to take the PR hit because whoever wound up signing for him and trading for him was gonna get bombarded with it, right? They took the PR hit because their thought was, if we get the Deshaun Watson of old, we're gonna win a Super Bowl. Because the way that he played in Houston, the way that he could move, we didn't have a quarterback like that. They wanted an adult in the room, right? Instead of Baker Mayfield. And
it was perfect week 1. Just thank you, Baker. God bless Baker Mayfield.
That's it.
And the stat about Watson being 0 for 10 on passes of 15 or more yards.
Like the deep ball, non-existent. And like he had like a couple of nice throws, but even just the play calling was bad. There seems to be no trust there. He can't move the way that he was able to move. And you saw this last year. And it was kind of, I think at this point, it's not the Justin Fields level of, they're not comparable, of like, hey, this is it for him. Like he's got to figure it out this year, right? If you say that like about Tua or Trevor Lawrence or what have you, there was, okay, he's suspended. We don't know. Okay, we saw him for a little bit and he's hurt. Okay, you got to hope, but like, all right, it's pretty solid as a starter. At least they won the games. And now to have that week 1 performance where Cleveland is booing him out of their own stadium. Yeah. It is a horrible look.
I feel bad for Browns fans. I really
felt
do.
bad. Yeah, years ago.
Because they have no control over who actually is their quarterback. Like they just had to accept it. You know what I mean? They just had to accept that their team traded for Watson.
Yeah.
What would be really funny, Tom?
Yeah.
Is if, say, Deshaun Watson isn't playing for whatever reason, don't give a shit. Browns trade, they give up a draft pick to bring Joe Flacco back. I know it can't be a first, but let's say they give up they have to give up a second or third to get Joe Flacco back. That would make my year. My year.
Not being reactionary, is there a lot of people that wouldn't want Jameis Winston as the starter on Sunday?
Oh, I mean, sure.
Like, see what you got, but again,
don't look up Jameis Winston in lawsuits either. If you guys want to stay positive about Jameis Winston,
and again, they are missing Nick Chubb badly. And like, again, there's some great players on the Cleveland Browns, and that team is a playoff contending team. It's just, bro, they don't have a quarterback. They legitimately don't have a quarterback, and they gave all the guaranteed money to one. They traded 3 years of their future for one, and it legitimately is. The Herschel Walker one but throw on the PR stuff, that I think that might put it over the top. I think it's in terms of just the way that it is gone, this trade is going to get people fired. This trade is going to be like remember when we had like a Super Bowl ready team and we just like dicked around for 3 years and literally decided to sell our soul and was like, okay, let's see if this works. And it backfired so bad. So bad.
Talk about your all-time backfires.
Yeah, it's a rough stop. Yeah, exactly. Trade with the Colts. Go get Flacco.
Bring back Flacco. Bring back Flacco.
But again, it's just Jared Goff. Jared Goff is on the Lions right now. That team is Super Bowl contender right now. Like there is Brock Purdy is on that. Maybe we'll see if it's Stefanski throw. But like you get a competent quarterback there, you're rocking. You're rock. I saw that Browns fans were saying that they think that Watson has created a burner account to defend himself on Twitter.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I saw that.